Yo, what up, guys? UFC 273 is about to pop off from Jacksonville, Florida. And listen, it's going to be a fantastic card. But the story about Jacksonville, last time I was there, I played TPC Sawgrass. The Island Green at 17, your boy DC. Put it on the deck, birdie, on one of the hardest holes in all of golf. Ask Justin Gaethje. He was there. He saw it. He will tell you straight up that I actually did that. Also, you can ask my buddy Paul from Kansas. He was there too. They will tell you I am about as good in golf as any pro on the PGA Tour right now. But ultimately, people won't show up to Jacksonville to watch me golf. They will show up for that fight card. You got Petr Yan fighting Aljamain Sterling the second time. Then you got the Zombie taking on Alexander Volkanovski. Look, man, it's time to put some respect on that man's name. Put some respect on Alexander Volkanovski's name at some point, guys, because the dude continues to do amazing things. But that's not the fight that I'm most excited about. I got to know. I got to know if Khamzat Chimaev is as real as everybody's saying. I got to know if he is truly ready for the elite of the elite in the welterweight division. And how do you do that? You get past Gilbert Durinho Burns. Now, guys, if this dude goes through Burns in the way that he did Li Jingliang and everybody else he's fought in the UFC, everybody has a problem. Everybody. I'm not talking about just dudes at the bottom of the top 10. I'm not talking about dudes that are just good in fighting and ranked. I'm talking about every single person in the welterweight division has a real problem if Khamzat shows that he can do to Gilbert Burns what he did to everyone else he has fought to this point in the UFC. Do I believe that's going to happen? I don't know. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible that he can put Gilbert Burns on the mat and dominate him in the way that he has done to this point in his career. But there is a world that we live in where Gilbert Burns gets the job done. This is a guy that has fought for the championship before. He's been in there with the best of the best at 155 and 170, and he is not afraid of Khamzat Chimaev. And look, not many people are not afraid of Khamzat. I can name two that have openly stated it. Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny, who for some reason keeps chasing that fight. Now, do I believe Kamaru Usman's afraid of? No, not at all. Kamaru Usman's not afraid of anyone. Kamaru Usman is the absolute man, and he will fight whoever is in front of him. But if Khamzat Chimaev gets through this dude in the way that he's done everybody else, everyone's ears will perk up, and he will truly be recognized as the greatest threat the welterweight division has seen since Kamaru Usman was ascending up the rankings. Rogan had a great quote about Kamaru. He said, he's the boogeyman. Everybody doesn't want to fight him. People run away from him. They turn away from Kamaru Usman. Last time we've seen that. Now we are seeing that same thing with Khamzat Chimaev outside of Neil Magny, who for some reason that I can't really put my finger on, continues to call for the Khamzat Chimaev fight. Khamzat is big. He's got fantastic striking with tremendous power. He's got unbelievable wrestling. And obviously, he has good grappling. But to me, it's the smothering top pressure of Khamzat Chimaev that causes these guys so many issues. And he's long and he's big. How does Gilbert Burns, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion and black belt, handle a heavy guy like that on top? Now, normally, when you get this type of matchup, the wrestler will dominate the grappler because Gilbert needs to create a lot of action in order to free himself of the pressure from Khamzat Chimaev. The wrestling base usually will kill that. That's why my boy Habib had that shirt. If wrestling was easy, it would be called jiu-jitsu, because we as wrestlers understand smothering and stopping the movement of jiu-jitsu players. Would I bet that he is going to dominate him in that way? No. I think he's going to get challenged in ways that we have not seen him get challenged today or to this point. I think he's going to get challenged. But do I think he's going to win? I think the size difference will be the biggest issue for Burns to overcome in this matchup. So I will say I think Khamzat wins the fight, but I don't know if he wins the fight in as dominant a fashion as he has won so many. That's the third fight from the top. Let me tell you, the ViStar Arena in Jacksonville, by allowing the UFC to go there when there was no fans and it was dark right in the midst of a pandemic, has really been on the receiving end of Dana White's good graces lately, because they have gotten some tremendous cards because of that one action in 2020 whenever the UFC wanted to go first. When the UFC wanted to be the first sports organization to get back to work, they allowed us to go and do that. And now look at it. Another massive pay-per-view in Jacksonville, Florida. It's going to be tremendous. Hamzat Burns, Aljamain, and Petr Yan. If you're Aljo, honestly, it could not be better, because your entire title reign now has been just draped in uncertainty and people that have no belief in who you are as an athlete. They tend to forget everything that Aljamain did on his way up to the championship fight by submitting Corey Sandhagen in the way that he did, who fought Petr Yan very competitively over 5 rounds, because he was on the receiving end of an illegal strike that ultimately earned him the championship. He didn't do anything wrong. He really didn't. But he's getting judged as if he did. Petr Yan, it's a bad boy, man. Petr Yan is a bad, bad boy. And every single time a guy at 125 or 135 fights, I see my boy Cejudo chiming in. Petr Yan's a problem. He said he would go to Russia and beat Petr Yan. You don't doubt Henry Cejudo with all the things that he's done in his lifetime, how he's won and how he's won at the highest level for so long. But I'm telling you, if there is a guy at 135, it's Petr Yan. Dude is dangerous. The way he breaks you down, the way he's so methodical with his approach, the way that he does not waste any action in his approach to beating you and breaking you down over the course of 25 minutes. I don't know if I've ever seen a fighter more in tune with how much time he has to work towards his goal. He never rushes. He never gets outside of himself. And honestly, I think that is what Aljamain did not understand going into fight number 1. He rushed. He threw so much activity. He tried to wrestle him. He tried to take him out of his comfort zone and really try to press Petr to make Petr make mistakes. But Yan doesn't make mistakes. Yan stayed patient, and Yan just continued to fight his fight. And then outside of defending a multitude of takedowns, he was the one that actually implemented the takedowns on Aljamain and landed like 9 of 10. This fight will be much closer this time, though, because in those interactions, you learn. And I cannot help but think that Aljamain Sterling learned a ton from that first fight, and he's going to apply that to the second fight. That one's going to be tremendous. Lastly, you got the main event. The Korean Zombie is a guy that people love. People just don't love you for just loving you, though. They love you because you're a savage. And the Korean Zombie has so much power. He has fantastic striking. He's as gritty, tough, and durable as anyone that we have ever seen at the featherweight division. He's fought for the belt before, even in that fight with his shoulder popping out against Jose Aldo and him finishing the way that he did. That tells you what type of person and fighter that the Zombie is. But I am begging you, ladies and gentlemen, please respect Volkanovski for everything that he does and who Volkanovski is. I don't care if you think he lost both fights to Max Holloway. That is not the way the judges saw the fight. I don't care if you thought that his fight with Brian Ortega was close, but it wasn't. The way he beat him down after that 3rd round, amazing. The way that he got out of that submission, amazing. I'm ready to start to see Volkanovski start to climb up those pound-for-pound rankings even higher, because I truly believe he is one of the most talented fighters that we have in the entire UFC. It's time to put some respect on this dude's name. It's going to be a good fight. People talk to and point to, well, the Zombie did this, Zombie. Doesn't matter. It's all about matchups. And this is the type of matchup that is destined to be fun for fans. Because when in the world is a Korean Zombie ever in a bad fight? He's not. He's not. It's going to be crazy. I mean, Hamzat can truly introduce himself to the elite of the division in Jacksonville. Aljamain Sterling can shut down every single question. But if this fight plays out in the way that the first one was playing out, Petr Yan just stands atop as the king. Could you imagine a Korean Zombie being the champion? There was a time where everybody kind of thought those days are behind him, but look at him. He finds himself in this position to go and do something truly, truly spectacular against one of the best fighters in the entire world, regardless of weight class. And if Alexander Volkanovski does what he has been doing, gotta respect that man. All hail the king. Alexander the Great. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll be a dictator. He will be a titan running that division with another title defense. It's going to be great. Jacksonville is going to be sick, and I cannot wait to watch it. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you subscribe. Leave your comments. Tell me some of the things you guys want to talk about, and I will be up here doing it. I'm good. It's good to be back, guys. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for all the support. See you next time. Peace.